Hey, it's Thalia and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video will be a labor and delivery story time. After watching the video, don't forget to like, comment, and of course, subscribe. Yeah, so Malaysia was born on September the 1st, 2019 at 10:56 a.m. But I was working for the Hard Rock. I currently am working for Hard Rock. So I had to put a 2-week notice in before my due date because I had to resign and then of course come back. Only thing is, the reason why I had to do that is because I was a new hire. So I started there in January. Malaysia was going to be born until September the 9th. That was the due date that the doctor gave us. But she came 8 days early. So it was August the 31st. I had already put my 2-week notice in for the Hard Rock 2 weeks before. So they kind of had an estimate of when Malaysia was going to come. Well, they had the due date set at September the 9th. So my last day working was going to be around September 6th. But Malaysia decided to come September the 1st. So August the 31st, it first began around like 6 p.m. when I kept going to the bathroom like almost every hour. I got off of work at 1:30 at the time. But then every hour I was going to the bathroom to use the restroom, well, to pee. So it was that night, it was around midnight where I woke up out of my sleep because the contractions got like very bad. Like the contractions were really, really bad. So I went to go tell my boyfriend, and at the time we didn't think anything of it. Just thought, okay, well, it just the Braxton Hicks. So before the contractions, so really didn't do anything. And then it was like I think around 3 in the morning when it got worse. Keep in mind I had to be to work at 5 on September the 1st. So we went to the hospital. We went to Jackson. The lady was like, oh, you're a soldier. You're dilated 6.5 centimeters. I'm looking like, oh my gosh, like I've waited that long. Keep in mind, I think you can't get epidural after 5 centimeters. So it hurt, no, after 7. So it hurt so much. I was in so much pain that whole time. She asked me, did I want to just take the epidural? At first I said no, because I always told myself, oh, when I was to have a baby, I'm not doing epidural because of everything that can happen in the long run. Even my aunt, my aunt didn't do epidural with her first child because she was scared of what's going to happen in the long run. But I was there with my boyfriend. It was my boyfriend and me at the time by ourselves. Then I called my mom before getting to the hospital. She didn't answer. So then when I got there, and then she called me back. She was like, you didn't call me to come pick you up to take you to work. So she was like, are you going to work? I was like, I'm at the hospital. And then she met me at the hospital. I told her not to bring like family at first because we wasn't sure if she was coming for sure on September the 1st. So she brought my 3 aunts, no, my 2 aunts. It was her, my 2 aunts, my 2 god brothers, my cousin, my brother, and of course my mom. So they all came inside of the room. They were all so happy. I'm like, I'm in pain. I was hurting so much. Like it hurt so much. The fact, like, I ended up telling them, give me epidural. They said I was low on iron, so they couldn't give me the epidural. Then when I got to 8.5 centimeters, the nurse had came in. She said, oh, we can give you the epidural. So I'm like, okay, thank gosh. I was like, it's going to ease the pain. That made it even worse because the doctor, when he came back in to check me, he was like, you weren't supposed to get epidural. They gave me 2 doses of epidural at the same time to just shut me up. I was wondering, like, I know you can't feel your bottom half with the epidural, but I couldn't feel anything, like anything at all. They say you're supposed to just be a little numb, but I could not feel anything. So then they said every time you have a contraction to push. I couldn't even feel when a contraction was coming because the amount of epidural they gave me. So it was like really hard. Like my boyfriend and my mom were looking at the monitor just like saying, okay, push, push, push. You guys, the embarrassing thing is like when giving birth, when you try not to poop, but you poop, it's like, I was so embarrassed. And then like the nurse, like she was so mean. I'm telling her, like, can you help me? I don't know what I'm doing. Like, this is my first child. I don't know nothing. My aunt, my boyfriend, and my mom were literally, they basically delivered Malaysia because they were there the whole time. The nurse had the nerve to walk out and she said, just call the doctor when her head is out. What type of mess is that? Just call the doctor when her head is out. So I was like hurting so bad. I pressed the button for the nurse to come. The nurse came. She had an attitude. She was like, her head is not out. She was like, when you guys see the water break, she was like, then you call for help. So then my aunt's going back and forth with her. I'm saying, can you just bring the doctor in, please? Just please bring the doctor in. And she refused to bring the doctor in. So where we asked for another nurse, she didn't want to give us another nurse. She was making the process like, it's supposed to be a memorable moment. It's like that lady was just giving us so much. And then when the doctor finally came in, he was mad. He was like, why didn't anybody basically been call for him? Like, this is what she said. She even told me to squat. But keep in mind, they gave me 2 doses of epidural. And then the doctor gave me some type of medicine to throw the epidural up. So I threw it up. I was feeling every single thing. And the doctor was mad at the nurse because I wasn't supposed to get epidural at all. Because one, I'm anemic. And I was anemic since I was little. So it was like, why? They're just making it worse for me. So then Malaysia's head came out, but I stopped pushing because I couldn't feel anything at all. So it's like her head was stuck, which made it come like this. So then when she finally came out, another nurse that came in, she was so nice. She did her head shaping and all. And they were like, oh, she's healthy. Malaysia came out fighting. Like, she came out ready to hit the doctor. And then they told me I couldn't get up for an hour. So I couldn't move. I didn't eat that day at all because they say you can't eat when giving birth. You're only supposed to eat ice or drink water. And I didn't want the ice because I'm going to be too cold. Like, no, why would I have ice? One, I'm anemic giving birth. Like, come on now. So then it was, Malaysia came at 10:56. She weighed 7 pounds, 3 ounces, and was 19 3/4 inches. So she was a very big baby. And then it was like the whole experience. The nurses were coming in every 2 hours. Okay, I get you have to check on her. But there was this one nurse. She stole $200 from us. We brought all of our money to the hospital because we ended up leaving the hospital bag like at the house because we didn't think we were going to get admitted. So we left the hospital bag at the house. Our plan was to buy little things that was at the hospital. But thank God for my aunt because she went out that same day and bought some stuff. She didn't want the money reimbursed it. And the nurse really stole $200. She went inside of my boyfriend's wallet and took the $200. I was sleeping and he was off and on sleeping. He was really tired. He technically stayed up the whole time at the hospital, just decided to take a little nap because Malaysia was sleeping and she was sleeping on me. So I kind of figured something was going on because when I had woke up a little and I'm looking, and when she seen me looking, she closed the door so fast. So then I was like, oh my gosh, like, I think she did something. Then that same exact nurse tried to kidnap Malaysia because when Malaysia had, she was like, oh, we're gonna go take Malaysia to go take a shower. So keep in mind, she said the nursery first, but then I was like, but the other nurse told my aunt there's no nursery in here for that reason, because we needed to know, okay, is she going to be in a nursery? Do you guys want her to stay with us? She was going to stay with us regardless, but we just need to know those things. So then she was like, oh, well, I need to take a shower. You guys don't have to come if you don't want to. So she got kind of mad when we decided to come. So I was in there. I was really, really weak. Like, I was weak because, one, the food in the hospital is nasty. Didn't really want to eat it. So it was like, I was just there, like, sitting down. My boyfriend was watching her shower in Malaysia. I had my head down like this. I could barely walk back to the room, but I wasn't going to say nothing to them because they kept trying to give me painkillers. I wasn't in pain. My body was just so weak. And it was like, after the shower, she kept coming in again every 2 hours. Do you want painkillers? Do you want painkillers? Why would I want painkillers? Why are you enforcing these painkillers on me? I said I don't want it. So then the lady had came in to do the birth certificate. One, she had my boyfriend's date of birth wrong, and I think she spelled his name wrong and Malaysia's name wrong. Malaysia's name is not really hard to spell, but at first I was really going to spell it the way it sounds. It sounds like it's spelled Malayasia, but it's really spelled Malaysia. So you have to really break it down and listen to how people say it. It's going to be hard for her to spell her name. My boyfriend picked it, but it's really pretty. It's unique. Nobody really has that name. So back to the labor and delivery story. So then when the day came for them to release me, I was supposed to get released around 9 in the morning. Didn't go home till like 5 something because they were waiting on the doctor to discharge me. Doctor came in, just asked me how was I doing. I had to get, I think was 40 stitches because of the fact that they gave me 2 doses of epidural, and then he had to stretch me. Like, he had to stretch me. I felt all of the stitches too, which hurt even more. So they came back and gave me some more epidural to calm the pain on the stitches because I wasn't letting him do it. And I was talking to my boyfriend and my aunt and my mom at the same time. I was crying. I was nervous. It was like, oh my gosh. I love children, but I don't think I want to have another one because the pain that you have to go through, and then it's not even the birth, it's after. The fact that your cycle is on for almost 40 days. It could be over 40 days too. Mine was over 40 days since I'm anemic. It messed with my cycle. I had mine for almost 3.5 months. But I was like, I don't want to go through that again. And then the stitches hurt so much. Like, it was hurting so much. And I think she thinks I'm crazy because I'm talking on the phone while I'm making a video. Yeah, I seen her. So then Malaysia's first doctor's appointment went good. That will be another video for you guys to watch. The story for first doctor's appointment. I'm sorry I started YouTube so late and waited till she turned 1 year old. But you guys can follow me through the journey with Malaysia up until whatever, which I don't want to quit YouTube. And if I don't really post throughout the day, it is because I am working. I can do a vlog of what I do at the Hard Rock. So that is the end of today's story time. Once again, don't forget to like, comment, share, and of course subscribe. Also leave different ideas down in the comments. And these people keep looking at me, Mom. So I will get back to you guys tomorrow.